Diane, and it's time for our 24-hour challenge. I've been gone since Thursday, had a long weekend with my girlfriends from high school. We had a great time. Today is August the 28th, and it is Sunday. Today, our 24-hour challenge will be transparency. And I've got a story about myself and transparency and what my number one flaw is in just a few moments. But I wanted to share my trip a little bit because I think it's funny, and I travel a lot. And even though I hate to fly, I do it. But one of the things that I noticed this time was it seems like every time I walk into the airport, it's like I'm in the twilight zone and everyone is on Quaaludes, like you're just walking around in a daze. And I can't find stuff, and I can't remember where my driver's license is, and I'm afraid I can't find my ticket. We go through that metal detector. A lot of times it goes off with me because I have blingy jeans on or something, and when I get through it and I'm not a terrorist, I'm always so happy because I wasn't sure before I walked through those metal things whether or not I was. Then I always fly Southwest because they're the best and the safest, but you sit down and you wait for your boarding pass to be called. I'm A, B, or C, whatever your group is, and you get up there and everybody's walking around looking really confused and they can't figure out anything. And so I look at my number and the person gets in front of me and she says, "What's your number?" And I say 42, and she says, "Mine's 43. And then we stand there looking at each other, trying to figure out if 42 comes before 43. We don't actually say that, but you can tell we're both really confused. So I just wanted to share that with you because it's like the minute you walk out of the airport, it's like your brain is back and it's like, I can figure out numbers again. So back on to transparency. So transparency is something that we don't often do because we feel vulnerable and naked. And a lot of times we are very polite about things and we say the right things and we're very socially acceptable, and we don't necessarily show people the real person that we are. So if I was to be fully transparent 100% of the time, what you would find with me is that I have a huge potty mouth. I hate to admit that, but I do. That is probably my number one flaw. People that know me well know that I cuss like a sailor, and I say the F word a lot, and it's just part of my everyday speech. And I know that's terrible, but I just want to kind of rationalize that for a minute. Part of the reason I do that is because my dad was a Church of Christ preacher, and we grew up in a house where you couldn't even use slang like gosh, golly, crap, dang. You couldn't even say dang. And so we had to be very appropriate at all times. And so one of the ways that I rebelled was when I'd walk out of the house, I'd cuss a lot. And that is just a really bad habit that I don't give up. And I've tried it. I've tried to say other words, like words that don't mean the same thing, but it just, to me, doesn't truly express how I feel. And so what I've tried to do is to limit my cussing to when nobody's around, like when my dogs are there and I cuss them out, or I think about it and I try not to say it in front of people that I don't know. But if I was transparent, that would be the thing that I would do all the time. I think transparency sometimes is harmful to others, or offensive, I should say. But if we're transparent, we're going to be offensive to people. I mean, we're not always going to say the right thing. We're going to express anger, and we're going to look ugly sometimes, and we're going to say ugly things. The truth is sometimes just not very pleasant. But I think in America today, that is the number one thing that we need, is the truth and transparency. So my transparency for today is that I look like the weekend chick instead of the Monday chick, which is I look like crap except I have makeup on because I was going to the airport and I didn't want to scare all the passengers. But and to admit that I talk like a sailor, and I will work on that maybe. The way I look at it is God knows all my flaws, and He judges us for what's in our heart anyway. So if it's already in my heart, and what's the point of hiding it and not saying it? So anyway, to you, for the next 24 hours, I want you to be transparent with everyone that you meet. And for some of you, that may mean to be extra sweet. For some, it may mean to tell the truth. For some, it may mean go out of the house without makeup on and don't care. That's transparent. I'm not sure what that means to everybody. And then your challenge for your health is, for the next 24 hours, continue to drink 100 ounces of water and don't eat any sugar, and do some exercise. Do all 3 of them for the next 24 hours and see if you don't feel a difference. I will see you tomorrow on Monday. Have a great Sunday. Bye.